The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the October 13th, the magical Monday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. And let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Now today, because I'm having trouble with my Steve at TFNN.com account, if you've already sent me an email, please resend it to Steve at masteringprobability.com. That's the only way right now during the show that I'll be able to get to your question out there. And of course, if you're inside the Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Magical Monday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. So we got a rally going on here. Everybody in the audience that's listened to this show expected and anticipated that, correct? Yes. Why is that? Well, we had a one-day rate of change in the spot VIX index on Friday of 32, 33%, something along those lines out there. Let's take a quick peek in at what's going on with the advanced client oscillator and the spot VIX index, which is still above the 50-day exponential moving average. Now, I don't have the chart to show you. I've shared it with you before. It's on my black background system, which takes up a bunch of space with everything that I've got running here at this moment in time. Many of you've seen that chart, and it shows that on a one-day rate of change about plus 10%, we typically see a bounce or a bottom. And that's what we got to try to figure out today and tomorrow, next couple of days, whether this is a bounce or a bottom. So the rally that we're getting here was expected or anticipated, just simply based upon that one single tool out there. So I hope that folks paid attention to it. Now, as we take a look at the New York Stock Exchange, the advanced client oscillator, Friday's move also move that advanced client oscillator. That is the difference between the 19 and 39 period exponential moving average of the advanced decline line. When that gets to the minus 150 level, we closed below minus 150 on Friday, you now enter oversold territory. So you really had two things going for you. You had a one-day rate of change in the spot VIX index. You had an oversold indicator in the advanced decline oscillator. Not that it couldn't get more oversold, but you put those two things together and you've got the probability of a bounce rally bottom. And that's what we're going to go try to figure out. Now, the spot VIX index has pulled back. It is still well above the 50-day exponential moving average. For example, the spot is printing out at 2028 and the 50-day is at 1660. So that says that even though we've got a rally going on here, the S&P 500 is nowhere near out of the woods out there. In the case of the New York Stock Exchange, you can see it had a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top out there. In order for this to get back to its bullish ways, it needs to close above that green oscillator and change line. Right now, that's 21,634. That's not for us to spend any time on at this moment in time. Let me go ahead and close this off. We don't need to come back and take a look at that. I'm going to go back to the main screen out here because perhaps one of the ways that we're going to help identify whether or not we've got a bounce or bottom going on may come from the communications sector, the XLC. You've got Meta and a number of other stocks that are inside that. The reason that I share that with you is because on a daily basis today, this is going to go ahead and confirm a TD9 count bottom pattern. Tomorrow will be the completion of that pattern. Right now, the low, as you can see, was on Friday. That was bar number 8. What should unfold here, and what should unfold after tomorrow may begin already out there. We'd have to go look at some intraday charts. And I do have a 30-minute chart up on our screen, lower right. Price should rally towards its green oscillator and change line, currently printed 116.93. If price does rally, that oscillator and change line is going to move higher as well. And that would then suggest that really the rally inside the XLC should take us up to 117.47. Now, that's what the daily chart is communicating to you and I. We look at the weekly time frame chart out there. We do not have a topping pattern unless there was some kind of A to B equals CD, and I'd have to go way back. But we don't need to even explore whether we do or we don't. On a weekly basis, price closed below the bottom of its weekly profile, 114.86. So come Friday, that's going to be a real key number, 114.86. If price is able to close above that, then the weekly message was that was a false move to the downside last week out there. And so the XLC, I believe, is one of these sectors inside of the S&P 500 that we need to keep our eye on. Now, the technology sector, the XLK, looks like that completed a TD9 count bottom pattern on Friday. So let's go ahead and pull that chart. Now, the XLK is the number one waiting inside the S&P 500. The XLC, at least last time I checked, was number 4. That may have changed by now. So as we pull these XLK charts up here, come on, go ahead and populate. Apologize. I don't know why it's taking the time that it is, but it is what it is, as they say. So this will get populated here. We'll see that, no, it's not. So the TD9, it does have a TD9 count topping pattern. The XLK, price pulled back and closed just slightly below its breakout level, 279.68. And you can see we're trading above that. We are also trading above the top of its daily bearish structured profile out there. So what you're going to want to watch today in the XLK, the first number you're going to want to watch here is the top of its profile, 283.79. If we close above it, the number one sector inside the S&P 500 will have a neutral signal. Pretty neutral. It would get really neutral if price could get above its oscillator and change line, currently printed at 287.44. But a close above the top of its daily profile would signal to you and I we should at least get a 2-day rally, and that should at least take us up towards its oscillator and change line of 287 and change out there. Again, that number, the cents or even the dollars, might change as we get a rally out there. But if we do close above that, then you get to an absolute neutral signal. Now, if we take a look at the weekly time frame chart, we did get a bearish engulfing candle last Friday, but I don't have any kind of A to B equals CD pattern. I mean, even if I really don't have an A to B equals CD pattern out here that we could take a look at. If anything, the A to B, it's an A to B equals CD pattern, the upside, that is not even close to finishing out there. So we got a bearish engulfing candle, just of interest, that's all. And price remains above its green oscillator and change line, 278.13. It's bullish. It's flat out bullish in breakout mode. Yes, it needs to clear from a resistance standpoint. Last week's high out there, just simply to negate that bearish engulfing candle signal out there, that's at 291.34. So the XLK, number one sector on a 30-minute, on the monthly time frame, there's absolutely no topping pattern. There is, it's just simply in full breakout mode out here. But nonetheless, if there's going to be some type of change in trend out there, it's going to start with the daily, bleed over into the weekly, and maybe into the monthly as well, at least give us downside price targets out there. So the XLK and the XLC are certainly two sectors for us to be paying attention to. With regard to individual stocks out here, it probably was a TD9 count top on Microsoft, similar to what we just looked at in the XLK, but let's go ahead and put that up on our screen, see where that is trading. It's only rallying. It's only up 98 cents. So that seems kind of tepid, at least for a rally at this stage of the game. But nonetheless, let's go see what its charts are communicating to you and I on the daily time frame. Come on, what do we have out here? We just have really a consolidation with inside its daily pro. We'll be right back, folks.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years, with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Hey, before we get to the requests out there, let me just cut to the chase for you so you can understand what's going on. You're going to want to take a snapshot of this screen out there, at least write the numbers down that I provide for you. So when we take a look at the ES Mini out here on Friday, that was the completion of a TD9 count top out there. And at the same time that it did that, that plunged to the downside, found support at the bottom of it. Was a new profile that formed last week as well. In fact, all 4 of the equity future contracts formed new weekly profiles last week. So these are numbers you're going to want to really pay attention to. If you were wondering why did price stop where it did on Friday at the 65.75 area, that's because that was the bottom of its weekly profile. And that is a buy zone. It's a bullish structured profile between 65.75 and 66.54. Now, if we close today above not just the 66.54 level, even though it's a weekly chart, and we close above its oscillator and change line, we are printing above that right now. It increases the odds of a further rally. Its rally could take us up to the 67.72 level, the top of its profile. The NQ did not form any kind of a topping pattern unless we could find some type of A to B equals CD pattern, but I don't believe that it exists out there, not one that's complete at least. And so it was just a bearish engulfing candle. That's all it is. Price trading with inside its profile. So even on the plunge to the downside, where price found support was just above the bottom of that profile. 24.108.50 is the number. It also is a bullish structured profile, meaning it has a buy zone. 24.537 would be the center of that profile as well. We are trading above that. We are trading above its green oscillator and change line. The NQ is telling us it wants to go target 25.179. Now we got to put this together with the daily time frame, but don't get too bearish out there. Not just yet. We haven't gotten the signal. Yes, we've got some topping patterns out there, but price must close below that weekly profile to suggest that, okay, maybe we've got at least a 2-week pullback. Maybe it's more than that. In fact, if you take a look, I'll just simply open up the weekly chart here for the ES Mini. Since that April bottom, that nice TD9 count bottom that formed the week of April 11th out there, we have had only one 2-week pullback. You didn't need me to tell you that, but I just did. We've had 3 with Friday being the third 1 week pullbacks out there. So these new profiles are really important to be paying attention. That's the ES mini, the NQ. We're going to see the same thing as we open it up. Since that April bottom out here, what we've seen is we've seen two-week pullbacks and a couple of 1 week pullbacks out there. Friday might have been that last one. So we got a consolidation right now on the NQ with inside its profile. The Dow profile levels, price found support at the bottom of its profile, 45,694. It's not such a bullish structured profile like the ES and the NQ. Resistance up at 47,090. And in the case of the Russell 2000, price never even made it down to the bottom of its profile, which is 2372.40. It is a bullish structured profile. 2421 is the center of that profile, and the top is at 2518.50. Perhaps the most important chart, maybe we'll find some others out there, but perhaps the most important chart in numbers for you to be paying attention to are coming from this set of charts right here, right now. Now let's go take a look at some of the requests that have come in. The first one coming in from Duncan Steve wants to take a look at ticker symbol TMC out here. So we take a look at TMC on a monthly time frame. You got to love this because price is going to likely negate a TD9 count top out there, and in fact set up an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. The TD9 count top formed on July of 2025. The volume on that session 259 million. We're at 141 right now. It's only the 13th. So it seems like it has the volume out there. Nonetheless, it's forming a big A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. The weekly time frame negated its TD9 count top last week, negated its Rhodes momentum indicator top last week. And now we're having, a further rally out there, a nice further rally. This should continue to rally. Now, the swing point on a weekly basis had volume of 54 million shares. It was it was past 9. It's got a weekly confirmed A to B equals CD pattern to the upside, Duncan. On the daily time frame, we're trading up a profile resistance. We are likely going to negate a daily TD9 count top. So TMC, it's headed to the moon. It's in bullish formation, daily, weekly, and monthly out there. Hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for that request. You had another one, which was to take a look at NB. And I believe you were asking, is the top in here? Well, the daily time frame has a wave 7 top that has been triggered. That needs a lower high to confirm a top. That's the only potential topping pattern that I see out there. Price is in bullish breakout mode as it is above its green oscillator and change line and profile resistance. The weekly time frame chart, no topping signal whatsoever. Only bar number 6 on the monthly time frame. No topping pattern whatsoever. In fact, last month it negated a TD9 count top. May have set up an A to B equals CD pattern. Oh, that's the gold contract. How'd I do that? Sorry about that. Sorry about that one, folks. Eventually I see what I see. Let me change this over here. I know what happened there. So let me just change this over. We'll get NB for the monthly time frame. Sorry about that, Steve. But the daily and the weekly, so far everything I gave you there is dead on balls accurate. The monthly time frame now is in bullish mode as well. It's trading into a swing point that takes us back to the month of February of 2021. 20 million shares traded that month. So far for the month, in just a few, we're at 117 million shares already. Going into 20. Oh, man, Steve-O, you got to love this. I think the question is the high end. Even though you got that wave 7 signal on the daily time frame, maybe you get a pullback out there to its oscillator and change down around 918. But the weekly is saying, I want to go test that high at least. I want to go target that high. Where is that? That's at 1650. You're trading at 1093 right now. So hope that review assisted you with both of those trades. Nitram writes in and likes the quad U's out here. So let's go take a look at what this set of charts is doing. On a daily time frame out here, there is no topping pattern. We're trading above profile resistance. We're trading above its green oscillator and change line. You gap to the upside. On a weekly time frame, you negated a TD9 count top last week. That's a bullish signal. On the monthly time frame, there's no topping pattern that I see out here. So and that means you. This wants to continue to head higher out there. So I hope that helps you out. You want to also look at the SOUN. So let's go take a look at it, pull up its chart, see what it is signaling to you and I. And the daily time frame shows a new profile formed on Friday. And if price can close, and it has a Rhodes momentum indicator top. So what this needs, Nitram, is a close above the high from October the 8th out there. And that's at 2008. If you close above that, you will negate its daily Rhodes momentum indicator top. On a weekly time frame, we can come up with an A to B equals CD pattern. In other words, this formed a sell the D point top last Friday. It was a sell the D point top that was already in place from September the 26th. Price is trading above profile resistance. It's trading above its green oscillator and change line. It's a suggestion that even though we got a topping pattern to sell the D point on the weekly time frame last week, price wants to go target that high again. And that high is 2008. That's had 301 million shares. It's only Monday, but we've done 31 million shares already in just a couple hours of trading. I'd watch the daily profile. If you close, the daily volume on that candle is 100 million shares. We're up with 31 already. So that says you're moving into that candle session with volume. So if you close above daily profile resistance, price is going to go target that Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. Monthly time frame, everything there looks hunky-dory out there. It looks good. So hope that is of assistance to you. John C. in the Tigers Den wants to look at NVIDIA and Apple. We'll do that when we get back from this break. And Captain Dan wants to look at Z. Again, if you're trying to send me an email at steve@tfnn.com, I can't get them. I've got a problem with that portion of the system. Send it to steve@masteringprobability.com, and I'll get that email. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We got the charts for NVIDIA up on our screen out here. This is for John C. inside the Tiger's Den. We take a look at NVIDIA out there. Now, I don't have any kind of a top from Friday out there for the daily time frame. If we go ahead and we pull this back, not really an A to, well, let me take that back. Maybe there was a small A to B equals CD pattern that it completed. Let's go ahead and put that up here and find out. So there's the A to B line. We're just simply going to move this over to the lower low that formed after that. And okay, so we got a small sell the D point top on Friday. All right, so now what are we doing? Well, in this case here, what price did on Friday was it closed below the center of its bearish structured with daily profile. Now, when it closed below the center of that profile, that was not a signal that it was something more than a counter trend move out there, because price had only been above the top of that profile for one single day. So now we take a look at it. We can see that price is back above its green oscillator and change line. That is currently printing, John, at 187.79. And if price can remain above that, somewhat neutral. If it can get above 189.26, the top of that daily profile, it really gets to a neutral signal. Now, it would need to overcome Friday's high, 195.62, for its daily time frame to get back to its bullish ways out there. But at this point in time, no levels of support have been broken, and continuing to trade above that green oscillator and change line is a bullish signal. On the weekly time frame, last Friday generated a bearish shooting star, which created a Rhodes momentum indicator top. However, price found support at that green oscillator and change line, and we are now trading above the top of its weekly profile, John, at 184.48. Its signal is absolutely neutral out there. In fact, you'd have to say that it's very possible that Friday was the bottom. That's what the weekly chart is suggesting to you and I. On a monthly time frame, the only signal that I have out here is a potential for a wave number 7. No, I take that back. I don't even have wave number 7 signal out here. I've got no topping pattern for NVIDIA for its monthly time frame. If anything, it's been bullish breakout mode. No reason for it not to continue to move higher. So it's the daily and the weekly to be paying attention. But the weekly, the weekly is most definitely saying Friday could have been a bottom out here for NVIDIA. So I hope that helps you out, John, with regard to that analysis. You also want to take a look at Apple. So what was Apple doing on Friday out here? Let's go find out what is it doing today. Apple, which had a Rhodes momentum indicator top, that went ahead and formed on Thursday when we got that nice bear sash candle out there. Friday, the Nike swoosh to the downside. What did it do? It got down and found support at the top of its daily profile, 243.95. Now, in this instance here, where Apple would find, if it was just a counter trend move to the downside, Apple would find support between 241.72 and 243.95. The actual low on Friday was 244, even Steven out there. So that's the potential that was a bottom. Now, the weekly time frame chart has a TD9 count top that completed last Friday. Prices trading above what? The top of its weekly profile and its green oscillator and change line out there. So the weekly signal is neutral, absolutely neutral, and price might rally up at least towards the 257.54 level. Maybe it's going to take on that TD9 count top. The monthly chart always had a TD9 count and Rhodes momentum indicator top. That went ahead and formed back during the months of December of 2024 and confirming in January of 2025. Now, on a monthly basis, Apple last month closed inside its swing point that had 977 million shares. It closed inside it with 1.2 billion shares. That says that the odds of its high being tested are pretty significant. The high being 260.10. So far this week, so far today, we're only up to a level of 259.24 out there. So the monthly chart, neutral. Weekly chart, neutral. Daily chart, neutral out there. You've got levels to watch. It doesn't mean price can't move lower. But right now, the signal for Apple after Friday's debacle out there, pretty darn good. pretty darn good. So hope that helps you out, John. Thanks so much for your request. Captain Dan inside the Tigers Den wants to look at Zillow. Z is the ticker symbol out there. So what do we got going on? I think you're asking for a TD9 count bottom, and you got it. So good spotting on your part out there. Today will be the completion of that TD9 count pattern. Today is the bar following bar number 9. Now, what should unfold here, Dan, is price should rally up towards its oscillator and change line. The oscillator and change line currently printed at 73.51. That number will change by pennies or what have you since as price moves up and down out there, but that becomes the first price target. Now, on a daily basis, if you're going to take a long trade out there, you really want to see price close above that oscillator and change line because it is red. And red says if you get up and you test and reject it, well, then you're more likely to head lower than you are to head higher. You had a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top out there. That's what identified the top on the daily time frame. The weekly time frame, not so good. And the weekly time frame, prices trading below profile support. This could be 3 weeks below that level. This is week number 6, potentially to the downside out there. So not a good thing. The weekly chart, Dan, says that if the daily TD9 count bottom pattern fails, that means it closed below the low of the pattern. Now, I don't know if the low of the day is in. The low of the day so far is 69 bucks even Steven. A price closing below that, then that tells you that Zillow is more likely to target its breakout level at 65.41. So it could just be a counter trend move inside of Zillow on the daily time frame with this TD9 count bottom pattern. We won't know until we see how price behaves around that oscillator and change line. But the weekly says caution. The monthly chart also says caution. I can see a sell the D point top that formed last month. Price has now lost its momentum. We know that because it's trading below a green oscillator and change line. It is trading with inside its profile. It has a buy zone between 51.21 and 55.99. We don't have to worry about that until we first see a failure of the daily TD9 count. And then in order to get down there, you'd have to see a failure of the TD9 count breakout level on the weekly time frame, that being 65.41. So yes, absolutely right. Good spotting out there, Dan, on that daily TD9 count bottom, and best of luck to you, whatever you decide to do. TMC is a request, and I don't, let me see here. Yeah, and I didn't write down who asked for it. Shoot. My apology on that. Wait, it was, no, that was okay. That was Steve-O. Okay, his question was, where's the A to B equals CD pattern take us to? Well, which one? If we take a look at the monthly one, let's open up the monthly chart. Did you? Let me pull it back here. So I'll give you what I think is probably all of the A to B equals CD patterns out here. The monthly one's going to give us an approximate price target. We're drawing in the A to B point out there. We're just simply going to copy and paste, cut, copy and paste, or copy, paste, and cut, or copy, cut, and paste. Copy, cut, and paste. All right. So you've got 1225 is your 1-to-1 A to B, because where do I start it? I'm starting this at the basically at the low from December of 2024 that began that TD9 count topping pattern. That's on the monthly time frame chart. On a weekly time frame chart, Steve-O, let's go back and try to be specific here. I would start on the weekly chart. Probably about the same thing would be the low out here, which is the day of December 20th, the week of December 20th, 2024. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at ticker symbol LTX, a penny stock here for Joe, and daily, weekly, and monthly time frame. So on a daily time frame, what I primarily see is a sideways consolidation, and with price trading above the top of its daily profile, which is 35 cents, likely to go target the top-ish area of that consolidation, which is probably about the 46 cent type mark out there. Price is trading into a swing point from back on September 29th. Volume, wow, 4,000 shares on a 40-cent stock out there. You're up with 218 shares. Joe, I don't know why you'd be trading this. There's no liquidity here. Seems kind of dangerous to me. In any event, let me continue on with the review of it. On a weekly time frame, prices trading above a screen oscillator and change line, trading above the top of its profile, likely to rally further. Its next area of resistance is going to be 44 cents. The monthly time frame looks bullish. Prices trading above profile, resistance as well as its green oscillator and change line out there. But there's no liquidity in this instrument. That means it's going to be hard to get out, depending on how many shares you're trading at that time. Let's go take a look at ALT. That was another request of yours. Let's see if this has got a bit more volume in it on a daily basis. It looks like it does, but and it's trading at $3.90. So it's consolidating with inside its daily profile. Yeah, it did 2.6 million shares on Friday. So on a daily time frame, this has got a nothing out there. It's got a small A to B equals, looks like a small sell the D point pattern out there. So let's go ahead and put that in. There's your A to B line. I'm just simply going to move this over to the lowest low that forms after that. That would take us to what looks like right about there. So you had you've got a sell the D point pattern with price consolidating with inside its daily profile. In order for it to suggest to you it wants to rally further, you need to see it close above 419. Otherwise, price is trading in between its buy zone at 378 to 388. And resistance, which is up at the 408 level. On a weekly time frame. Weekly time frame has a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. That formed the week of August 29th. Price above its oscillator and change line. As you can see, it really just has truly been trading sideways. When you look at the weekly chart, you can kind of see that sideways-ish consolidation area out there. So nothing here to suggest that it's really going to break that level. And on a monthly time frame shows a TD9 count bottom that formed back in October of 2023 out there. And we tested that swing point. The high of that was 289. The low that I see that formed out here got to 290. Well, missed it by a penny. There were 203 million shares trading that month versus 28 million shares. You got to consolidate within a new monthly profile. That's between 338 and 532 out there. So I've given you the best that I can out here, Joe, on the visibility of what ALT is doing. Consolidation on the daily. You can see that on the weekly, and trading with inside a new profile on the monthly time frame chart out there. So it was ALTX as well as ALT. You've got one more request, which is ONDS. So let's pull those charts up on our screen, see if we can figure this one out a little bit better. And price right now, trading with inside a new bullish structured daily profile. The buy zone is between 989 and 1034. Friday's close below that 989 level right now is telling you that was a false move to the downside. With price trading above the center of its profile and its green oscillator and change line, looks to me like it wants to go target 1170. Now, the volume on the swing point that's up at 1170 has volume of 45 million shares so far. In 2 hours of trading, we've done 30 million shares. You're pushing a swing point with volume. ONDS wants to go tackle 1170. On a weekly time frame, there's no topping pattern out here. It is suggesting it wants higher price. The monthly is doing the same. The monthly is trading into its all-time swing point high. It's tested it so far, and the low of that is 1157. And the volume there is 13 million shares. So far for the month, you're up with 535 million shares out there. What you'd love to see come month end is a close above 1157. If you get that, then that's likely to signal to you and I that it wants to make a move to 16 bucks even Steven. It's all-time high. So that's ONDS. That's a much easier chart for us to take a look at. So I do hope that that information helps you out. Eddie wants to take a look at. Eddie is our local hip doctor out here. He's a hip guy, if you know what I mean. He wants to take a look at MP out here. We take a look at MP. I've got no topping pattern. It had a Rhodes momentum indicator top way back when. Way back when was the trading session bear shooting star back on August 11th. We're trading above that right now. We're likely to close above that and negate that signal. Eddie, that says that MP wants higher price out there. No, a new bearish reversal candle would confirm another Rhodes momentum indicator top. If we look at the weekly time frame chart, no topping pattern that I see out here, wants to continue to move higher. That is the same on the monthly time frame out there. So MP is looking mighty, mighty, mighty fine out there. Hope that helps you out. You also want to take a look at McEwen Mining. MUX is a ticker symbol out there. Let's pull McEwen Mining up on our screen, see what we can find out here. MUX trading right now at 1998, consolidating with inside its daily bullish structured profile. I take that back. It's trading above the top of its profile. It's trading above its green oscillator and change line. Was there a daily sell the D point top? No, we don't have to worry. It was okay, perfect. It was a daily Rhodes momentum indicator top that formed on Friday with that bearish shooting star candle. Now, the volume though on the swing point is from the prior day, October 9th, 2.2 million shares. So far today, up with 729. That puts us up at about a 2 million share day plus. So you're pushing into that swing point with volume. I'd say McEwen Mining with a trade above its green oscillator and change line, and Eddie, as long as it remains above 1953, likely to go target Thursday's high out there. The weekly time frame chart. If you can get above last week's high, will trigger bar number 8 of a TD9 count pattern. That says on a weekly basis, you could get a TD9 count top between this week and the next two. We're not there yet. You've got to be able to tick above last week's high to generate that message out there. And the monthly time frame for McEwen Mining is all out bullish. Now it's trading an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. It would need a bearish reversal candle to identify a top out there. So daily looks pretty good. If you could take out the a shooting star candle out there, life would get even better for you. You also wanted to look at DVS out here, so let's get those charts up on our screen. I don't know if I was able to get to that one or not. Nope, I did. Good. So we take a look at DVS. This is trading right now, so it's rallied. It's trading back above the top of its profile. Good. That's at 461. Bad, not really bad, but sort of. But resistance is held, which is that green oscillator and change line, 485. So if DVS can close above 485, it's going to be back on its merry way to the upside. Now, that merry way to the upside has got some resistance, which is the top of the weekly profile, which is 517. The bottom way down to 368. Don't worry about it being a 368 right now. That would only come into play out here if we saw a close below its weekly oscillator and change line. That's currently at 440. We're printing at 471 as we speak right now. This has an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside, but it doesn't have a bearish reversal candle to confirm a top. The monthly time frame chart for DVS is all out bullish. It's trading above the top of its profile, which is at 347. It's trading above its green oscillator and change line, which is at 376. So DVS, it's the daily that is the question mark out there. We don't have a bottom pattern, but as long as price remains above 461, that's good. Even better would be a close above its green oscillator and change line. Current number is 485. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. Joe was kind enough to write back in to inform me of my dyslexia when I put in the wrong ticker symbol. I had put in ATLX, not ALTX. Wait a minute here. My question was on ATLX, which I've got up on my screen. I put the wrong ticker symbol. So what you're looking for here, Joe, is a close today above $7. We're trading at $7.19. You will get an A to B equals C dependent on the upside. That gives you an initial price projection of $7.81. We are trading above the swing point, which is from the trading session of August the 5th, with volume out there. So that's why you're watching the $7 mark. Volume has already been confirmed out there. So if you do close above it, now that's just the initial price projection. That does not mean that's where the pattern, that's not where price will end necessarily. When you get to that level, 781, what you'd be watching for would be a bearish reversal candle. If you got that, that would identify a sell, the D point top. On a weekly time frame, price is trading above the top of its weekly profile. That's a bullish signal suggesting it wants a further rally. So that's what we've got out there. Sorry that I messed up that first one, but glad that we got to the correct one. Hope that helps you out, and best of luck to you on that trade. So just a minute to go in the session. Folks, I still believe that the most important charts for you to pay attention to from an equity standpoint is going to be this set of weekly equity futures, each which formed new profiles last week. The Russell, the NQ, and the ES Mini, all bullish structured profiles out there. You close below that, and then that likely leads to a change in trend that could last 4 weeks, could last 2 months out there, but we're not there yet. At this moment in time, the signals that we're getting, and of course those signals would be just dependent upon the close, are that it may have been just simply a false breakdown move on a Friday. Oh, I put up the wrong chart up here. Thought I was with the equity futures. There we go, daily equity futures. So again, the numbers to be watching here, can price get back inside its profile? The ES Mini is trading above that right now. It's done that, 66.83. You close above that, it was a false move to the downside on Friday. In the case of the NQ, it is at, we're testing that level right now. It's at 24,899, 46,343 for the Dow, and the Russell, no problem. We're already trading back inside his profile. Have a magical Monday, folks. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow, 11 a.m. sharp. Take care and be safe out there.